What is up?
Let's get it. What's good, bro?
We are done with week 5 of the NFL season. And actually, no, we're done with week 6. We're done with week 6 of the NFL season.
Yeah.
I misspoke. We're done with week 6. I got my boy, Mr. Peyton Smith, on with me this week. Two-time defending champ
Yeah, thanks.
of the league.
Thanks, bro.
All right.
That's the thing about this league, bro. No respect, man. That's why I came to the podcast this week, bro.
Yeah. Well, you're in the group message now. We got some trash talk going every week. So
Okay, I'm gonna
you
turn
know.
on the notifications. I'm gonna start responding to you guys.
Yeah, we know you're busy. All right, let's kick it off. At number 12 this week, we got Mr. Jason Bick. Got Mr. Jason Bick at number 12. And I know he has a 3-3 record, but I'm looking at this team and it's just major yikes right now. It is major yikes. Let's pull it up real quick. We got this week. He's got Josh Jacobs back. Josh Jacobs was on the bye last week. Jason Bick put up 73 last week. He was starting Damian Harris and Brian Hill at running back last week.
You gotta give him that. I mean, like, what are you gonna do there? I honestly, I just want to say, like, with Jason Big, the diversity on this team is incredible. Like, really appreciate you. Like, like a proto vaccine takes us farther and farther. And I would say don't give up on this, Vic, because I'm pretty much in the same boat with Nihar here. I don't see like a lot of positivity and hopefulness in this team's future.
Yeah, I did read today that Melvin Gordon might be back this week, so that's a very positive thing because that means he's not starting Damian Harris. So, but yeah, getting Devontae back is huge, obviously. And even though Aaron Rodgers didn't have a good game, I'm sure he's going to come back strong this week against the Texans. Matt Ryan had a very strong game last week, but he was benched because he's been struggling. I think he'll be around like 18 to like 20 points a game for the rest of the season. But Austin Hooper is obviously one of the best side ends. Jerry Jeudy can come on strong, but it's just the running backs are just so sketch. Allen Robinson is good, is a good player, but he's in a offense that runs first, and Nick Foles isn't the greatest. But we'll see. Mr. Biggs, he's at 3-3, so he's not out of it yet. He's at 3-3. That's the big thing. He's one game ahead of the losers right now. So
I
we'll
don't know
see.
if I saw like many teams worse than Bix going into this. But actually I don't know, because I want to hear what you have to say about West's team, and I want to hear what you have to say about Wang's team. But
About Dick
other than
Wang's
that,
team.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there. Number 11, no longer in the bottom spot, Mr. Wesley Anderson. And I think West has put himself in a really good position now, like trading Aaron Jones. I mean, we saw that trade pay off in full last week. I mean, Aaron Jones only had 10 points. Chase Claypool had a nice game. He had 16, but West from that last week got 14 from Joe Mixon. He got 6 from Devontae Freeman, not great, but then he got 12.5 from Kenny Galladay. So like those three are going to be like the core members of his team going forward. At least Galladay and Mixon, right, are going to be like very key going forward. Juju's not having the greatest year. Gesicki had one down game. I think he's gonna come back strong. But Tim Patrick's a very good player. Jason Sanders was the number one kicker before this week. I think he still might be. And obviously the Steelers defense is lights out. And then he's got DeAndre Swift. Now, if this man comes on, like
That's
West's team, yeah. And then he's got Michael Thomas coming back this week, like most likely. He's got DJ Shark on the bench. Like he's got the Bucks D. Like he's got the Bucks D and the Steelers D. That shouldn't be allowed. That should not be allowed. But I really like a comeback for this team. Lamar had 28 last week, his best game of the season so far. So like this team is definitely one of the 2-4 teams that you do not want to be playing. Not that you would want to be playing any of them, but this team has been rejuvenated, and with Michael Thomas and DeAndre Swift like coming on strong, and then his bench is very solid. He's got Fournette, he's got Shark. I think West is poised to make a comeback. Against some of the teams that were previously dominating that are going through some injury concerns or some COVID concerns. So I think West is definitely on the come up.
I mean, I think anytime you see Lamar Jackson, Michael Thomas, like you don't like feel easy going into that week, because you never know what could happen.
Exactly. Like those are scary players. Like he doesn't have Aaron Jones anymore, but now he's got Mixon and Galladay, provided Mixon stays healthy. He's got DeAndre Swift, who if the Lions just cut him loose, like he's versatile. He can catch the ball, he can run the ball, he can do a lot. So the sky's the limit for Wes's team at this point. No longer in the bottom spot at number 11. Number 10, I got myself. My team did not come through when I needed it to. I thought I was gonna get to 3-3 this week. My team, it just didn't perform. It just flat out did not perform. Let's take a look at this real quick. Zeke, I don't know what the hell that was. I don't know if you watched any of the game yesterday, but
Yeah, I mean, I saw part of it. Like I don't think that there's something you'll have to worry about like in the long run, but obviously,
yeah, I don't think so either. And I got Pollard in case things go really south. But this matchup makes me just want to finish this gin and tonic I got right here, like right now. Like I just want to chug this like right now. I'm gonna drink to this. I lost Raheem Mostert. Drink to that. He was averaging 7 yards a carry for the season. Like this man just an absolute animal. Lost him for at least 3 to 4 weeks. Robert Woods solid. Mike Evans. Mike Evans was the real L this week. Like against a very exposable Packers secondary, no Kevin King, no number one corner. He put up 1.5. He had one catch. And it wasn't like the Packers were shutting him out. Like I watched the game, like he was just not being thrown to. He only had 2 targets. Evan Ingram, lots of talent, just has never really come through. I mean, Danny Dimes is struggling this year again. The O-line is trash. Robbie Anderson has a solid game. Just my 2 best players, Justin Tucker and the Dolphins D, obviously besides Mahomes. That's not what you want. You don't want the bottom of your roster to be the best. And it's not like if I had started anyone on my bench, like I would have won either. Like I just flat out lost, like straight up. Like his team was just better.
Yeah, I don't know how you feel about Mike Evans, but like I see his ranking go down every week. Like what his projected points are. I don't know if like you're present in panic mode on that or like you.
Yeah, I've been involved in some trade talks about Mike Evans. He's still like a top. I think he's still like the number 6 or 7 receiver in fantasy. So I don't want to like throw in the towel on him just yet. But
yeah,
it is very concerning when Godwin is there, how he's just like not looked at. And then last week they were very very heavy on Gronk, so that's not good for me either.
Yeah,
so yeah, I might be shipping him. I think I have enough wide receiver depth to absorb that, and I definitely need a running back right now. So if anyone out there wants to trade a running back and wants Mike Evans, let me know. Yeah, but at 2-4, I'm only 2 games back, so it's not like the season's over just yet. The league is still, even though we have some more separation this year than last year, it's still like relatively competitive. So number 9, we got Mr. Richard Wang, who is the only person unluckier than me probably this season in terms of like just scoring output. He has the most points for. He has the most points for, and he has the second most points against. And
I feel awful. I'm so sorry. I just want to, bro, because like you did, like he did everything right. He did everything right.
You cannot be apologetic. This league is take no fucking prisoners. No, nobody is feeling sorry for anybody.
I'm just trying to stay in the good graces of fantasy gods, bro. Right now,
that's true. That's true.
Stay alive, man.
It's got to be definitely. You got to be good vibes if you want your team to do well. That's true. Let's take a look at this matchup because this was the marquee matchup last week. I mean, this was the only high scoring one I would say, like on both sides. Obviously, like Dick did not have a bad week. Like Myles Gaskin, Gurley had solid numbers. Kyler Murray went off. Mecole putting up 0 though, not great. But I don't know if that would have changed much.
Not this week. But.
Yeah, not this week. Even if Mecole put up 20, Dick's a little lost. So like his team had a very good week. He just happened to be playing the wrong person. And I think he had Metcalf on the bye, which Metcalf has been his best receiver all year. So I think and he's got AP who got 12.3, but yeah, I see Swift taking that over soon. He had Breeze on the bye, but he's not gonna be starting Breeze. So yeah, I like this roster. I guess the wide
Harmon honestly as a like just based off his Twitter account, so we're straight.
Yeah, his wide
last year. Like I think that's one of those things where it just like kind of scares you every week.
Yeah. Like he
But
catches a 90-yard touchdown or he gets 0
that's
points.
right. You know, it's that one play and you're like, oh, thank God, or it's like, oh, fuck myself again.
Yeah. The wide receiver depth is the only thing here that's scary. Like if Metcalf were to get hurt for some reason, like if Metcalf were to get hurt, this team would take a huge L because it's Hollywood Brown and then it's Mecole and then Marvin Jones, I guess, but like Marvin Jones has been struggling. So I think if I'm Richard right now, I'm looking for our receivers. He's got a very good running back depth though. Gurley, Gaskin, and Ronald Jones, very good, very solid. Ravens D, lights out. Harrison Butker, very good. No real holes besides wide receiver depth. I think the numbers will even out for him eventually. That's what I'm hoping for myself too. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
There are a lot of teams in the same boat.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to number 8. Mr. Pranav Bardwaj. He was 5 last week. This team is not doing too hot at the moment. He is obviously this most recent week. You know, he told me straight up, like I've already chalked it up as an L. He didn't have Kamara. He didn't have Latavius, who he probably would have been starting. He didn't have Mike Williams, who's now, I think Mike Williams is going to be very good for the rest of the season with Justin Herbert, especially if Keenan Allen is like on and off with injuries. I think Mike Williams is definitely a startable player on this roster. He has Zach Ertz going down, so now he has to start Gronk every week. So he's got that flex spot open, which I think will be taken by Mike Williams. Odell is just going to roll with however Baker does. Baker was injured last week, but also was just not playing well. Hopkins, fucking God. Like, obviously. Just like, this is probably one of his down weeks. Yeah. This is 8.3, but 22, 7.6, 18, 17, 22. Like, Hopkins, number 2 in PPR right now. Like, absolute beast. And then obviously Kamara and Lat.
It's crazy to see how quickly he adapted to the offense. I honestly wasn't expecting otherwise.
Yeah, I agree. I
feel like I made a mistake there for sure.
Yeah, no, everyone doubted. Like the thing about, he's a ball hawk. Like Hopkins, like he knows how to find the ball. His hands are incredible. He's a dog. Like he's got that it factor. Like when the ball is thrown to him, you just feel like he's gonna catch it. Like I don't feel that way. I'll be honest. I don't feel that way about Julio all the time. Like Julio's had some bad drops.
Really?
Like just like in terms of just pure hands. Like Julio's an absolute monster. Like he's gonna be catching the ball, but just like pure hands wise, I think Hopkins is better.
Well, okay, all right. I mean, pure hand rise, like sure, but I think like with the analogy created, like sending guys off to other teams, like I trust a guy like Julio Jones, like anywhere in the league.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Maybe like a guy like Mike Evans. Like I'm a little bit concerned. I didn't realize. Like honestly, I personally didn't have DeAndre Hopkins in that category. Like as a Julio, as like a. I don't even know if people are doing that nowadays, unless it's like fucking Calvin Johnson, like back in the day. Like I don't know.
I think he's right up there. I'm definitely not better than Julio, but I think he's right up there, and I think he's top 3 or 4. I think I'm thinking of Julio, probably Michael Thomas when he's healthy, like just based off of last year. I would say this year though, I think it's Hopkins is probably number 2, unless you can think unless I'm just forgetting somebody.
Not off the top of my head, that's very fair.
Thielen. I'm forgetting Thielen.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Dude, look at Thielen's numbers though. He's actually like sick.
I always doubt Thielen. I don't know why. It's probably just because
he's like the number 2 wide receiver right now, and across standard and PPR.
I need to watch my football, to be honest.
Thielen is he's kind of like that Jordy Nelson, where he just like, you know, he's not known for his athleticism probably, but his route running is insane, and his moves, like he's got some quick moves that he can pull off every now and then.
Who do you think ends up with a better career all time, Thielen or Nelson?
All time?
Yeah, man. I mean, like,
that's a good question. I think it's hard to say right now because Thielen obviously has a downgrading quarterback from Nelson. Like Kirk Cousins doesn't really compare to Aaron Rodgers, but if Thielen still keeps producing at the same level that he is right now for the next like 4 to 5 years, like he's gonna have the better career. Because like Jordy Nelson probably only dominated for like 2 to 3 years, whereas like Thielen is probably going on his 3rd year of like very like strong wide receiver play. So we'll see. But yeah, back to this. Yeah, Hopkins. Obviously, this team is so top heavy. If losing Ertz is not going to help, if Odell can start producing, this team will get back to it. I think Odell is the key for him. Like obviously, Kamara is going to be sick. Frank Gore as your RB2 is not bad right now. I don't know why this man dropped J.K. Dobbins with Mark Ingram. I don't know why he did that. I could come back to bite him, but yeah. So moving on to number 7. We got Mr. Ragsman Para. Last week he was 10. Moved up 3 spots with the big dub. Big dub this week, even though I mean it's nothing really to be cocky about, I guess. He put up 88.5 and he won. But a win's a win in this
Hey,
league.
look, apparently he gave me a W, so I guess I should.
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
I just wanted to make sure this was correct, like I'm good now. I can go home now. The podcast. We're good now. You can keep going. What's up?
I'll drink to that. I think Schrag's roster is better than, it's definitely a top 6, I would say. Top 6 roster. Which means it's a playoff team. The thing is, no one on this roster besides maybe Calvin Ridley is really scary. But okay, actually, I was looking at Will Fuller's numbers today. He's number 12 in PPR, but just the last 3 weeks, 21, 14, 20. Like, Will Fuller's coming on. He's starting to score touchdowns. He's staying healthy. Fingers crossed. Yeah, but Schrag did just lose Miles Sanders, but even then, he's still got David Montgomery and he has Justin Jackson, so he's got good depth. He picked up Travis Fulgham, who I believe he's starting this week. This is a very deep roster. Once he gets Chubb and Miles Sanders, I don't think he's out for too long. But once he gets those guys back, and contingent on him being in the top 6, I think he's a dark horse to knock off maybe one of the top seeds, because only the first and second seed get a bye, right? So I think he's definitely, if he makes the playoffs, I think he's gonna win his first round, because
How long is Chubb out for?
Chubb is out for, I don't know exactly, but he's out for a decent amount of time. I
Okay.
think at least 2 to 3 more weeks.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with him, I feel like that's maybe a dark horse to win the league. I don't know. I was actually scared going. I was going into Schrag, the way I did, 2 and 3. That was scary.
Yeah. He's a team he's going to be competitive every week for sure, just because of his he's got plugs for days. Bye weeks are not going to affect him. But he's not. I don't know if he's ever going to pop off. I don't know if he's ever going to put up 140 or anything. But I think he's going to put up this week was an outlier with just some of his buys and injuries. But I think he's primed to put up at least 100 every week. So it's definitely a team that you're wary of, but you're not terribly scared of. Moving up to number 6, Mr. Daniel Kang, who I don't really know what happened here. This man was 3-1, dominating everybody, right? His roster looked literally unstoppable. I mean, okay, granted, last week he had Russell Wilson on the bye. Let's look at this real quick. He had Russell Wilson on the bye. He had to start Andy Dalton, which wasn't great. Tyreek Hill did not have a great game because no one was throwing in that Bills Chiefs. And so yeah, but other than that, I mean, I maybe he should have started one of these guys. Maybe he should have started Debo or T. Higgins over. I probably would have started one of them. Actually, I don't know. That's kind of tough. He has the problem of he has almost too many good players that he could play at the flex. He played Kareem, which is fine. Maybe I would have benched Kareem this week just because he's playing against the Steelers, but T. Higgins and Debo are definitely startable players on almost any other roster right now. So, not that he would have won. Yeah, he would not have won if he had started either of these guys. So, he just lost this week straight up. And not having Russell Wilson was huge. Russell Wilson is 25 a game. The best cornerback right now. He's number 4, but he was. He's only number 4 because he's on the bye. So that was huge, not having Russell Wilson. But I don't think this team is on the downturn by any means. I think one of the biggest things for him was Raheem Mostert going down because he has Jerick McKinnon. And Jerick McKinnon, before Raheem came back, so first 4 weeks, 12, 13.7, 15, 19. In PPR, this man is definitely somebody you want to have. He's always there. He's always out there on third down, and now he's going to be getting like the majority of the snaps. So McKinnon is just another name for this roster. I mean, this roster is still stacked.
Honestly, I had this team ranked higher than mine. Like out of like the
Really?
teams that I do. Yeah, I don't know. At least like going forward, like Russell Wilson at the head, and then I think he might have like just like points wise, not knowing what can happen between CEH and honestly Kareem and James Robinson as well. I see that trio as something that I like. That's like a maybe I don't know like a 40 like point block like a week, and that's something that is scary, especially when you have like loose cannons like Tyreek Hill and Chris Godwin. I would like to see what like why you would think like future teams have like just like fire based on firepower alone that are touching this team right now, honestly.
Right. So my biggest thing here is Kareem. He's good, right? But I think the Browns' offense is just in a funk, and Kareem probably has a high floor. Like even when Chubb comes back, Kareem is going to be like 8 points a game.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
the problem here, the biggest problem for me here is James Robinson, because James Robinson is a very good player. He's just not he's not on a good team. Like the Jacksonville is always going to be playing from behind. It feels like they're going to get down like 14 points, like 3 touchdowns, and then they're just going to stop running the ball, which is what happened last week, which happened the week before. So James Robinson, even though he's a good player, like being in Jacksonville is not good for him. Tyreek, I just had a bad week. Like Tyreek is obviously, wide receiver 1. Chris Godwin, when healthy, is definitely wide receiver 2, fringe wide receiver 1. Mark Andrews, this season, I actually don't really know how he's been doing. He's the third best tight end in fantasy, so he's having a good season. He's had some down weeks, but he's had some weeks where he pops off. And this year, I feel like if you have a tight end that pops off, you're most likely winning your matchup. Because tight end is so thin this year. I don't like this is I mean obviously I think this is still one of the top rosters in the league, but it was a really down week, and even with just 1 or 2 people on the bye, I don't think he should have put up 73. Like I think he should have beaten Wes even with these players. Like I think he should have definitely beaten Wes even with this like I don't really know how Wes won. I guess Lamar just turned up, but
you can't.
It's a little concerning, but not like that's definitely not on the down. Like his roster's not on the downturn by any means. Okay. Now we're in the top half. Number 5, Mr. Derek Bollet, who this man, Mr. Derek Bollet, he made some moves last week which were beyond fucking shrewd. Like, first of all, he picked up Ryan Tannehill, who was on, or maybe he already had him, but he wasn't starting him. He started him this week against a struggling Texans defense. Amazing fucking move. This man put up 29. And then on top of that, he started Adam Humphries, who was just activated off the COVID list and was the wide receiver 2 behind AJ Brown. And he caught a touchdown, was 6 of 6 receptions, 64-yard touchdown. Like, he hadn't started either. Like, Bollet had not started either of these players in any other week before this.
Yeah, like, that's what doing research, bro. That's the only way. Because
I'd written him off. I'd written him off like last week. I think. I hadn't written him off, but I was like, this team is definitely like not in a good spot at all. And this man just always finds a way. He finds a way to fucking win, even in the worst moments. Obviously, getting Julio back was beyond huge. He put up 29.7.
Bollet's looking at some numbers, bro. I don't have access.
Bollet's on some shit, dude. He's fucking like taking shrooms and doing fantasy research.
And this is consistent too with him. It's like I don't know what else I would expect with the Derek Bollet team. Maybe
he's always good, always there at the end. Like definitely not a person that you want to be playing any week. Still some concerns here. Running back is a pretty huge concern. Madison might not be starting next week. So like Jonathan Taylor, very solid RB2, but there's no really RB1 on this team. Like Josh Kelly, like he seeded. I think Justin Jackson outsnapped him the last time the Chargers played. So there's not an RB1 on the team right now. He's got Le'Veon, which is interesting, Now, there could be a timeshare in Kansas City. That's interesting. We'll see what happens there. We don't know. We don't know much, but
That's gonna be interesting to watch because it could be over if that's if he does what he could possibly do and takes over, like it could be over for all of us.
Eckler coming back, and I just read today that Deontay Johnson's practicing again, so that's big for him. But the wide receivers on this team are stacked. He had Lockett on the bye last week. He still won. He's starting Lockett and Julio, and Brandon Cooks now is definitely a wide receiver too, probably in the Texans offense. Higbee's a stud. I think he's one of the top tight ends. Let me check. Yeah, he's the 8th tight end in fantasy this year. So
No
Blankenship, yeah, no real
holes
hold besides RB1.
Glaring, like at least in the starting lineup for me.
Yeah. Besides RB1, like that's the only like hole I would say. But even that, like it might not even matter because like this man will just find a plug. So it seems like he'll just find a plug every week. So yeah, I have him at. That's why I got him at number 5. All right, the top 4 it's shifted a lot from last week. So the top 4 last week was Daniel Kang, Neil, Shahil, and Avaith. And we've already seen Mr. Daniel Kang move out the top 4. But at number 4, we got Mr. Shahil Johnny. Last week he was number 3, so he hasn't fallen that far. And my reasoning for that is,
bro, oh shit, man.
No one is rooting for this team. No one is like looking at this team and being like, fuck, I really want this guy to win because
that's fair enough. I can't think of a year that anyone has.
He's just skirted by. Like he hasn't blown anybody out. He's won a bunch of close games. He's kind of like the Titans. The Titans right now are undefeated in the NFL, but every game they've won by 1 possession. Or the Bears. Like it's kind of like that. It's just like he started Chase Edmonds and Kenyon Drake last week. Like obviously Kenyon had that garbage time 60-yard touchdown, but like, what are you doing out here, bro? Like, okay, I don't know why you benched Darrell Henderson. Like Darrell Henderson is clearly the back to be starting with the Rams. He did pick up J.K. Dobbins, which could be huge if Ingram gets hurt. That could be huge. And then obviously he's waiting on the number 1 overall pick in the draft to come back, Mr. Christian McCaffrey, which is projected maybe week 8. That's what I read today. He might be back before week 9. So obviously that'll be huge for this team. He'll be starting. My guessing starting lineup will be like C-Mac, Drake, Amari, Diggs, Tanyan. I don't know who will be flexing, but Greg Zuerlein's pretty solid usually. And then he's got Stafford. Quarterback situation is a little sketch. Like Fitzpatrick just got benched, so and Stafford's solid, but 12 points from a quarterback in a week is not very good. But yeah, Stafford gets around 16 to 18 a week, so not terrible.
Like if Shahil can just coast, if he can make it to the return of C-Mac, then he'll be fine.
You think so?
I don't think he will personally, but. I've got Shahil before. Like, I'm not usually wrong, but I don't think I would have. I don't think that I considered this team better than some of the ones that we've recently gone over.
Yeah. I think that Robert Tanyan, which I will keep referring to, that Robert Tanyan Monday night against the Falcons. I think that was not a 28-3 situation for me, but I think that will be the defining loss of my season if I don't make the playoffs. Like that will be the loss that kept me out because I was definitely supposed to win that game. So I think the 2 players here, the 2 players right now, right here, are Amari and Diggs, right? Diggs is fucking good. Like, not only he's just so solid every week. 12, 25, 13, 14, 16, 14. Like, the Bills just feed this man, and he catches the balls and he catches touchdowns. Like, he's so good. Amari, obviously, just catching machine. He had 1 bad week, but he's the number 5 PPR wide receiver. And the Cowboys now, it feels like the Cowboys defense is just exposable, and they're gonna be playing from behind, and they're just gonna be throwing the ball all over the place. So Amari and Diggs are gonna be carrying this team, and obviously C-Mac once he comes back. But beyond that, no one on this team really scares me. Okay, maybe Robert Tanyan, like number 6 tight end. Yeah, okay. But I mean, other than that, like quarterback doesn't really scare you. RB2 Kenyon Drake doesn't really scare you. Like, yeah, he had one good week against the Cowboys defense, but
I would say I'm a little bit more scared going up against Kenyon Drake probably, at least going forward.
okay, yeah, going forward, I can agree. He's got
Okay.
some good matchups. He's playing Seattle, not a good defense. Miami's defense is actually pretty good, but yeah, I guess Drake as an RB2 is actually pretty good. So that's fair. He is weathering the storm until C-Mac comes. He's 4-2, so we'll see what his record is once C-Mac comes back. But right now he's at number 4.
You just hate to see that team win.
Yeah, it's
Shout out to Shahil, love you, bro.
shout out for being there though, I guess. Number 3, Mr.
You-
Peyton Smith.
I guess because I was gonna come over here and hype my team up, but I guess I don't need to, bro.
Yeah, dude, I had you at number 9 last week. 6 spots, the biggest mover.
It's a jump.
I think the biggest thing for you is the emergence of the Titans offense. Obviously.
Mhm.
And obviously AJ Brown coming back.
Yeah,
Because he was
sure.
hurt for a little bit. And he came back and he had like 16 or 17 his first came back. Well, last week popped off again, 2 touchdowns.
He's coming back quicker than I thought, honestly. I mean, we know what he can do.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Derrick Henry, I mean, what more can you say about the man? He's just so scary. Like he's basically the Julio of running backs. That's what I feel like he is. No one can tackle this man. He gets fed. Last week he had 2 of 5 receptions for 52 yards. That's new. If he starts catching the ball, like I don't know, that's just beyond scary. Josh Allen had a rough game only because it was raining. Josh Allen's going to perform every week because he's a runner. David Johnson at RB2 has been, I think, a floor of 12 or 10 every week. Yeah, just like so solid every week. AJ Brown coming back huge, probably like around, I don't know, I'd say at least like 12 to 15 a game at least. Justin Jefferson, waiver wire pickup. You picked him up last week?
Was it that?
Or no, you picked him up. You picked him up. You picked him up after week 3. So you had him. You had him week 4.
Right.
Week 4 onwards. So for the win streak, you've had Justin Jefferson now.
Man, he's been a godsend, bro. The emergence of Justin Jefferson has been like taking this team back to the playoffs. Honestly, if I go to the playoffs, it's because of him. And if he keeps this up, I don't see him slowing down. I mean, he's not going to put up 35 a week, but
yeah,
I think that he's a solid.
That was against the Falcons.
Yeah. Well, I do think he's a solid wide receiver.
No,
too.
yeah, no. Yeah, of course, yeah. I think like the thing about Justin Jefferson is I think you're going to see him scoring touchdowns, which is huge. That's huge for any wide receiver. But he had 9 of 11 receptions, so he was actually targeted more than Thielen last week. He's a stud. He's a rookie wide receiver, so they want to get him as involved as possible. Huge pickup for you. It's going to be a key part moving forward. Trey Burton, 20 points last week. Wow. I didn't know much about
that.
That
was this week. That was.
Or yeah, this week, yeah.
That was a hope and a prayer on a Tuesday night.
Okay.
But he's sticking around.
Yeah, like in the bottom of your roster put up 6.6 total, and you still put up like 149. Like that's crazy. You got Wentz sitting there. That's nice. You had Chris Carson on the bye this week. Holy shit. Yeah. You had Emmanuel Sanders on the bye, who's coming on now. Emmanuel Sanders is coming on.
He scared me for a little bit there.
Might lose some targets with Michael Thomas coming back, but I think he's solid. You had Waller. Oh, you had Waller on the bye too.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So
that's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. I've got something to say, bro.
Yeah, now you got something to say. And then Ayuk gets carries now that Raheem is out. Ayuk is going to get some carries. So like
I'm glad I kept him because that's news to me.
Ayuk is a solid plug. I think obviously you might have to drop Darrell Williams soon with Le'Veon coming in, but who knows? The Chiefs True. But yeah, I didn't even realize you had these people on the bye. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
I think I have you at the right spot right now. I think number 3 is right because like I think next week you're gonna have problems of knowing who to start. To be honest, with Chris Carson.
Yo, I'm excited. But yeah, I got some players. I think that like if something drops on my wide receivers though, that's gonna be like a really big hole.
Yeah, but I think you have the depth. I mean, no, Emmanuel Sanders, like
I haven't seen Emmanuel Sanders put it on at least like this year.
Yeah. But Ayuk, 13, 19, 12, 6, 8. So like Ayuk is at least a solid plug, like at the
Right.
least.
The numbers are there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you can make Ty is definitely a letdown.
Oh, absolutely.
Just the whole year has not been good. But I mean, if you really wanted to, you could trade for someone now. You got enough pieces.
Yeah.
Number 3 though, back from 0-3 to 3-3. Wow.
Dude, it's always like this for me.
Number 2, we got Mr. Neal. Mr. Neal, who doesn't want to be in our group message. I'm calling you out, bro.
Tough.
The only guy not in the group message. I gotta give Neal credit though. I gotta give him credit. His team is very solid, even without. Dalvin is a huge loss. His team is a bit top heavy. It's not very top heavy, just a bit top heavy. It's pretty reliant on Dalvin. He's starting. I don't know why he's still starting Gardner Minshew. There's got to be someone better than Gardner Minshew. But James Conner has been so strong. Did not even realize. Past couple weeks, 23, 14, 16.7. Like very solid. Philip Lindsay last week I think put up like what 10, 11, 10. Yeah. If Dalvin comes back this week, which I don't know what Dalvin's status is, but that would just be. I think that would ensure him.
Dalvin's out for a little bit, I think.
Oh, he's out for a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, he's out for a little bit.
Yeah. Then this man, he has James White, who is pretty much a solid 10 points a week too. So, I think his running back situation, and while Dalvin is gone, is okay. And then he's got Keenan, Boyd. He's got Thielen on the bye this week, but Adam Thielen, man, let's look at his numbers real quick because I feel people will be doubting him.
No.
28, 4, 11, 22, 25, 13. Like number 3 in PPR, number 1 in standard. That's Adam Thielen.
Yeah.
So obviously, like Neal's team is basically the Vikings offense plus Keenan Allen and James Conner. Tyler Boyd has been up and down, but he's solid. He's not like incredible, but he's definitely someone that you want to have on your team, I think. Especially with like Burrow needing that like possession receiver that he can like rely on third down. I think Tyler Boyd is that guy. Schultz has been one of Neal's biggest pickups. Schultz has been huge, although like obviously with Dak going down against the Giants, but I think one Schultz because last week in the early part of the game before the Cowboys yesterday, before the Cowboys got down big, like Dalton was feeding this man. Like he just kept throwing the ball at him, even though he wasn't catching everything. Like Schultz is going to be that safety blanket. I think that Dalton's going to rely on all season. So I think moving forward, I think Schultz is going to be a strong tight end. Defense, the Giants, nah. Cody Parkey, let's look at him. Number 19 kicker, yeah. So like the holes, not the holes, but the questionable things here are defense. I'm assuming he's streaming a defense every week, and then kicker, and then quarterback. Like he could be doing better. He could be making at least waiver wire moves to make those positions better. But this is a team that is going to be in the playoffs right now. Like it's definitely going to be there at the end of the season. I don't know if he'll be a top seed, but I think he'll be at least like 3 or 4 seed at the end of the season for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I see this team like as a winner. Like, and this team healthy as a winner for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And then finally, the top spot, we are giving it to Mr. ADV, Mr. Aveth. And I know there's going to be some controversy about this, but
did he pay you off for this one, bro?
Nah. I mean, well, let's look at the standings. I mean, he's number 2.
He's up there. I'm not even gonna front, dude. I can't.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's the best team in the league overall, but I think he's the best team in the league not even right now. I don't know. I think he has the most momentum. Okay, I'll just say that because he was 0-2 and now he's 4-2. So that even outchances your winning streak. So I think
this team's exciting for sure.
Let's take a look at it real quick. Last week, Big Ben 11, not the best week, but he got double digits from everybody last week, except for Antonio Gibson and the Ramsey, I guess. But 20 from Koo, 20 from Kittle, probably outlier. 20 from Kittle's not an outlier, but 20 from Koo is probably an outlier.
Yeah.
But this team is very deep. He's got McKissick on his bench. He's got DJ Moore on his bench. He's got CeeDee Lamb on his bench. Hawkinson on his bench. Like. No injuries, nobody on the COVID. That's huge. It's a deep roster. one thing moving forward that he might have prepared for, but I don't know if he is obviously Mike Davis is only going to be effective probably for a couple more weeks until McCaffrey comes back, but he's got Gibson there. I think if he wants to make that leap to be like a top seed, either CeeDee Lamb is gonna have to start catching touchdowns, or he's gonna need to trade some of these pieces for another stud, which he already kind of did that. Obviously, he acquired Aaron Jones.
What about just waiting it out? I think the thing about this team is that it's the deepest in the league. I would say, if you just kind of let the holes kind of hit the other teams, and like the holes that hit yours are the easiest to replace, right?
I agree. Yeah, at 4-2, at 4-2 also he can definitely wait it out. He can definitely like.
You got a small cushion. I mean, yeah. It's an interesting time in the league where it's like, do we really have a cushion? But I think he can hold on, like maybe at least like a couple of weeks before making any drastic changes.
Yeah. I think obviously the biggest shift, the biggest transition for him will be once McCaffrey comes back, because Mike Davis won't be the same guy after that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next week he plays, and next week he gets another good matchup. Next week he plays Jason. So.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good for him to get to 5-2. And if you're at 5-2 after 7 weeks, like you're like, I don't know what the percentages are, but I'm gonna say like 90% to make the playoffs if you're 5-2 after 7 weeks. Yeah, I don't see Jason winning this matchup next week starting.
I don't
Damien Harris. If Melvin, there's a chance Melvin comes back though, which would give Jason obviously a fighting chance. I don't know if he's gonna win, but looking at Ave's matchups, like he's got. I think the Packers are gonna pop off next week. Like Aaron Rodgers is gonna come back strong. Like all of them. Claypool, they want to get involved, so he's got that stack now. He's got that stack with Big Ben and Claypool. That's pretty big. He's got the Washington offense is playing against the Dallas defense. That's huge.
The East is just
only Kittle and then Koo have the tough matchups next week, and then the Rams against the Bears they're probably gonna have a good game. So yeah, I see him getting to 5-2, but yeah, that's the thing that's scary about this team. It's kind of like Daniel's team. It's probably a little less scary, I would say, like week to week. Like you definitely be more scared to play Daniel's team. But the thing about Ave's team is I think his team is going to be more consistent moving forward. Like I think he's going to put up that 100, 110 minimum every week. And so that's why I ranked him at number 1. He's also on a 4-game winning streak. That's another reason I put him at number 1. He's a little bit unstoppable right now.
It's definitely going to be a team that outlasts.
Yeah.
If I mean, unless everything just goes well for all the other teams, with injuries, but I don't see that happening either.
Yeah. So signing off here, I'll do my my MVPs, my LVPs. I didn't see any standout rookies, so maybe you can help me out with that. But my MVPs this week are Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, George Kittle, Julio Jones. My LVPs are Ezekiel Elliott, Tyreek Hill, Pranav's roster. Yeah, those are my LVPs. And then rookies, I don't know. I didn't really I didn't think about it.
Justin.
Oh yeah, okay,
Come
obviously.
on,
Justin
man.
Jefferson. Yeah, I just forgot to do that. But yeah, obviously Justin Jefferson, definitely the number 1 rookie of the week.
Absolutely.
CeeDee Lamb had, solid game, solid 10 points, I guess. He's coming in. Am I forgetting any? Fucking CEH, Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 169 yards rushing. So
yeah, I mean, like great for them, like congrats to them, but the dogs at.
It's scary. It's scary. I mean, the Chiefs' offense, I'm saying, is scary because now they got Le'Veon active from here.
What do you think that looks like? Do you think that, like, talent-wise, he's better than SCU?
Probably yes. Probably talent-wise, yes.
Right.
In terms of durability, in terms of energy, and just like like rookie running back is someone you can feed, which they did last week. They just gave him like I don't know, like 20 high 20s in carries, which you obviously cannot do with Le'Veon every week.
Right.
So it's definitely going to be a timeshare. This is what I'm assuming.
We're looking at.
Yeah. This is what I'm assuming. I'm not like saying this is going to be 100%, but I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere between a 60-40 CEH to Le'Veon or 70-30 CEH to Le'Veon. Like I think what's most likely going to happen is is they're gonna have CEH out there for first, second down, and then Le'Veon in on third down, just because Le'Veon's a bigger back for pass protection. Like I think he's gonna be better at blocking rushers.
You worried about how are you worried at all about Darrell Williams acting as a touchdown vulture?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
see,
I mean, because you gotta add like what 10% to him, maybe.
yeah. Like last week, he did vulture a touchdown
Exactly.
from CEH, so that's not good for Mr. Daniel, but for Mr. Bollet, it makes things interesting in case Le'Veon for some reason becomes like that Kareem role to like a Nick Chubb. Like I think that's what Le'Veon's gonna be. Honestly, I think he'll be like 8. I think he can be like he's in the Chiefs offense, right? Like he's gonna be like 8 points a week. He's gonna be catching balls. He's gonna be like getting some yards here and there. Like he's gonna be 8 points a week. That's my prediction.
Okay. Shit. Well, bro, thanks for having me on.
Yeah. This is a good time. I think
next year I'll have watched more football. I'll be able to input more.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what I have to do. I have to I think I gotta carry Michael Turner up Stone Mountain to break all the curses, break the Atlanta curse,
you gotta do, bro,
break my curse. I don't know what it is.
I mean, whatever you gotta do, I understand, bro. Because right now it's not looking good.
Yeah. All right.
All right, bro.
Thanks for being on, bro.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Peace.